From your local source, WCJB TV 20, this is TV 20 News at 6.
Good evening. State troopers are investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash in western Alachua County.
A woman's body was found by a Good Samaritan this afternoon in tall grass by the side of a road. FHP says evidence shows the hit-and-run by County Road 232 and US 41 may have happened within the past 24 to 48 hours. Now, investigators think the car involved is maroon and it will have damage to the right headlamp, fender, and fender trim. Anyone with information is asked to please contact the Florida Highway Patrol.
A 3-year-old who was reported kidnapped by her mother more than a year ago has been found living in the Palatka area. Lily Bauman was reported missing in Sunrise in May of last year by her mother, Megan Everett. Her case was featured on CNN last night on the John Walsh show, The Hunt. Putnam County Sheriff's deputies say a resident called CNN after watching the show, recognizing the mother and daughter as tenants of her rental property. The little girl was found unharmed and is now with a victim advocate, while her father travels here to pick her up. The mother is in jail.
It's time now to take a first look at the weather for north central Florida, and the rain continues to fall.
And Chief Meteorologist Bill Quinlan is here to tell us and give us an idea maybe how long it'll last.
You know, Dave, we're still looking at these showers and storms. We do have a new significant weather advisory for southern Alachua County and northern Marion County until 6:30 this evening. A strong thunderstorm is moving through that vicinity. We'll zoom into there and show you what's going on. It's right along the highway from Micanopy back over Lochloosa, north of Reddick at this time, and that's going to continue to be an issue here through the next half hour, 45 minutes. You see that significant weather advisory popping up. That's just shy of being a severe thunderstorm. A lot of heavy rainfall and dangerous lightning, even some gusty winds will be possible with that thunderstorm as it continues in that vicinity. The other areas to watch are back in northern Gilchrist County. Let's check to see if we have any advisories for that one. Nothing as of yet, but there's still some very heavy rainfall with that. And the one thing I am concerned with is back out to the north and the west into Taylor County. You can see these thunderstorms riding along just to the west of US 19. Those are going to develop and push more down into Dixie County. So folks at Cross City, watch out. We may have some more of that heavy rainfall moving your way over the next half hour, 45 minutes. We'll be watching it carefully, and we'll have an update for you coming up in a few minutes.
When it rains and pours in one community in north central Florida that's already been soaked by heavy rain is getting ready for more.
TV 20's Lauren Verno tells us how residents of Dixie County are waiting to see the full extent of the damage caused by recent storms.
Homes just like this one are flooded. Now the water goes up to about my ankles, but you can't even see my feet. Now if the rain continues like it did over the past weekend, emergency responders say they're going to have to start over.
I don't really know. I mean, even though we haven't had any rain for the last several hours, we haven't had a whole lot of baking sunshine either.
The water is creeping up into homes, parks, and streets throughout Dixie County. According to emergency operations, more than 200 homes have been flooded so far, and that number can rise if the rain continues.
The house is flooded. Got 2 rooms of it's about 6 inches of water, not much longer, and it's going to be up in a wood flooring that's been there for over 100 years.
Sandra Reed has managed and lived in this property for over 30 years. However, she says the way the roads were built near her home, there's no avoiding this type of damage.
When the rains come, it comes right down the middle of this state turnoff, and it pours right in, as you can see, right down here on us.
The tire swing outside her home is touching the water, and getting into her home is no easy feat. But as the rain continues, she can only look on.
It looked like a literal rushing creek running down here on us.
But who's footing the bill for all this damage?
You'll have the homeowners that will be responsible for some of theirs. The county's going to be responsible for their stuff.
The rain is not only destroying homes, but roads leading to properties are also deteriorating. As more rain stirs above, Reed can only prepare for the worst.
This isn't going to be the end.
They are still providing sandbags and shelter to people. You can find those locations at our website at WCJB.com. Reporting in Dixie County, Lauren Verno, TV 20 News.
A boil water notice has been recommended for any private wells with water over the well casing. The town of Cross City, though, has not yet issued a boil water notice at this time. Well, people in Dixie County weren't the only ones who had to deal with a lot of water over the weekend. Residents of Levy County braved flooded roads and driveways yesterday. And although the water quickly went down, TV 20's Nico Clemens tells us Cedar Key officials expect more of the same tonight.
Yeah, it was wicked. It was wicked.
That's how Marie Meeting Pendergrass and many other Cedar Key residents are describing the weather conditions from Sunday.
Anybody got a fishing rod? That's what I think automatically, or a boat. flippers, go swimming, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, it was not pretty. I love the rain, but not that much.
Heavy rain came down in Cedar Key on Saturday, but city officials say the rain and high tide caused 6 of their streets to flood on Sunday. That resulted in 4 streets being closed off for several hours. Officials say at least one business had water come inside. Cedar Key Police Chief Virgil Sandlin says before any storm comes through, they notify business owners and pre-place barricades on certain roads.
You may not think that salt water hurts your vehicle, and you won't notice it for 2 or 3 weeks, but about 6 to 8 weeks down the road, when your brakes start rusting up and all that, your mechanic's gonna love you.
Many people I spoke with say when you live in Cedar Key, you're used to the roads flooding, water in your yards, your driveways, because it comes with the season.
In Cedar Key, people know what to expect from the weather. Me, I'm still learning. It wasn't like this rainy last year. It was not as bad, but this year's been really bad.
The streets were back open by the afternoon and most homeowners were able to get out of their driveways. With another high tide rolling through Cedar Key, Sandlin says they're already prepared to deal with more flooded roads and businesses if they have to. Meeting Pendergrass says she's not.
It's not a very good thing to be on the water when this comes. I don't recommend it to anybody. It's scary.
However, many Cedar Key residents say a little rain and a high tide here or there won't keep them from going out and getting a better view. It's what they're used to. Nico Clemens, TV 20 News.
There is also now a boil water notice in Levy County for anyone with that private well with water over the casing.
A recent reported sexual battery of a University of Florida student has some on high alert. TV 20's Brooke Schaefer explains what happened to the student who was found outside her dorm.
It's frightening. I mean, that's not a story you want to happen around your campus.
University of Florida grad student Michael Perry says he was concerned when he first heard the news of a recent attack to a fellow UF student. Early Sunday, UF police say they received a call of a reported sexual battery to a female student. According to police, the 19-year-old had been at a popular bar, the Grog House, with friends Saturday night. The victim told police that she left the bar with a man, and from there, her memory is foggy, only remembering being in the front seat of a car, later in a bed, and then being driven back to her dorm. The 19-year-old was later found by students outside her dorm. Perry said he heard about the incident in a campus-wide email.
It seems like they went home with someone who was driving them and something happened and they were found later. Sounds terrible.
UF police say they're still not sure whether or not the crime happened on campus, but are urging students to stay alert.
Be aware of your surroundings. If you see anything suspicious, call us.
This reported sexual battery comes after a string of assaults on UF's campus last fall. Between the months of August and September, there were 4 assaults in a matter of weeks. And just last year, the U.S. Department of Education reported UF as the state university leader in reported sexual assaults, with 24 incidents from 2010 to 2012. Sergeant Jeff Lamb with UFPD hopes these tips will change the face of their campus.
Don't use the dark paths at night, you know, the proverbial dark alley, and go out with friends, stay in groups, look out for each other.
Michael Perry says that though nothing has happened to him, he wishes students like him didn't have to be on guard when going outside.
If it didn't happen, I wish you didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
With student rush right around the corner, UFPD says they will be actively patrolling campus and are now investigating Sunday's assault. Brooke Schaefer, TV 20 News.
Well, she hasn't yet graduated from college, but already is helping kids get ahead. A program started by a University of Florida student that encourages literacy reached its 1-year anniversary over the weekend. TV 20's Charmaine Nero explains why this student took on this challenge.
Every time I see a Clifford book now, I think about him and his growth, so this is my favorite right now. Caitlin Todd recalls the moment she knew she was on the right track. She will be a junior at the University of Florida and can already say she is the head of an organization that was founded to improve literacy in the Gainesville community. None of my family graduated from high school, but they all seemed educated, and I tried to figure out what it was, and it was because they read so many books. Realizing many other kids in the community were in the same situation, she decided to start the program. She remembers one student in particular whose story resonated the most. Whenever we got the numbers back at the end of the year, he was the most improved student in the entire 4th grade. It brought me to tears. Every time I talk about it, I'm just like, I can't believe it made that big of an impact. She says stories like that keep her going. Gainesville Read started in 2011 to help 3rd and 4th grade students improve reading and writing skills, but quickly expanded to prisons and homeless shelters in the area. Volunteers for the program say it's more than just a joy of helping someone read.
Talking to them about like how their day is going, or just reading their book with them, or just going over like the dictionary, different things like that. Like just seeing the enjoyment that they have whenever we walk in.
Behind me is one of over 30 book nooks here in Gainesville that was handed over to Caitlin by United Way.
They actually just asked us to take that program over, so Book Nook is something that's being transitioned into a Gainesville Read program now.
And she says she won't stop there.
So our big phrase is empower literacy, so that's our hashtag. That's something we try to put on everything. That's something we try to write in books. Anytime we're sending anything, it's always just empower literacy. That's our plan.
And so far, she has lived up to it. She hopes to expand the Gainesville Read program to different cities within the next few years. Charmaine Nero, TV 20 News.
Well, the president is announcing a new initiative to try to curb climate change.
Part of the plan is a tougher stance on power plant emissions. Coming up after the break, we'll explain how the plan could impact Florida. That's next on your news at 6.